Tell us about this book.
Okay, so
What inspired you to write this?
all right. So this book was actually written this year.
Okay.
And I launched it October 19th.
Oh, great stuff.
Yeah, so it was dedicated to the girl child. Actually got the inspiration during my NYSC. And I did my NYSC in a rural area, Monia. So I got to meet a lot of young girls as well as young women. And I realized that not a lot of them had enough information as regards their body. A lot of times they didn't even know how to calculate their menstrual periods. They didn't know when they were ovulating. They didn't know how to take care of their bodies. So I was like, okay, fine. Growing up, I had the opportunity to have sex education from a very young age, but not a lot of people have that opportunity. So I said, okay, fine. What can I do? What's the little thing I can do to help? So I decided to write a book. And basically, the book is, anyone who picks this book should be able to understand. The language is very self-explanatory, but I advise that parents actually sit down with their children and read the book together so that if there's any question, they can effectively explain to that child. So anyone who picks it with or without guidance can understand their body, understand how to take care of their body and what to do. So it's majorly for a good reproductive life for the girl child.
Okay. Great stuff. I saw a few stories here that were shared by a few people that you spoke with, and what many of them were saying was they didn't learn many of these things from their mothers. They either learned them from, I'm talking about sex education here, they learned it from aunties, the society, friends. How do we tell mothers that there is this need, there's an urgent need for you to educate your girls on sex education?
Discussing with some of the mothers, I've come to understand that there's this, I don't want to tell them too much. There's this fear of too much information would lead my child to wanting to do more or know more. And because of that, they shy away from talking about it. But the truth is, our era is different from this era. There's a lot of information available to these children. They pick up anything and they can find out so many things, and they have this opportunity to express themselves. Even in school, children come and say, oh, I heard this, I heard that. But the best information comes from home. So if you sit down and share your experiences with them, you can tell them some of the mistakes you made as well. Let them relate with you when it comes to that information. Let them get the best from you so that when they get to that stage in their life, they know what to do. I mean, something as small as using a sanitary towel when you're on your menstruation. Some people see their menses and they're scared. And you know, no one tells them what to do. So they, I have someone in here, if you read one of the stories, where she said she kept it from her mom. And her mom thought she started keeping secrets. And funny, she's my friend and she's a doctor. She actually said that throughout the time, her mom actually didn't talk to her until later. The mom exposed all this information to her. So mothers should actually take it upon themselves to sit there. It doesn't matter how little that information is. It's important for the child to get it from you than get it from the wrong place.
Let's move over quickly to sanitary towels, because the conversation has gone on social media about the need for free sanitary pads in secondary schools, you know, for those young girls, especially in rural areas. And you talked about it here. So how do you think this should be enforced? Do you think it should be enforced? Do you think, you know, what should be done?
I would say that I have some reservations about it. The reason why I said I do have that is because I'm looking at sustainability. Number one, sanitary towels are one of the products. So there are other products. And we shy away from talking about other products. We just focus on sanitary pads. And for me, I also look at what can be sustainable over the years. Sanitary towels really are not so good for the environment because they're not as readily degradable as other products. But I would say reusable pads are more on that side than the free sanitary towels. I would say you can give free reusable pads and teach these girls how to use it, because if a reusable pad can be used over time, more than a year. Just take care of it, wash it properly, and then you can use it over and over again, unlike a sanitary pad that once you use it, you discard it. And over time, it becomes a whole pile of pads in the environment, which is not good.
Yeah, and then it's not biodegradable.
Yeah.
Yeah. So quickly, there's also one of the issues here which you highlighted talks about sexual molestation, which of course is a big issue all over the world here. So how do we tackle this? I would say it's everyone, and no one is left out. Every sector should be involved. The education sector, the judiciary sector, even the security sector as well. Everyone is involved. The family as well is involved. I think we should stop covering and saving face when it comes to the person who is involved. Even if it's a family member, the person should see the side of the law, so that it is driven down that if you do this, this is the repercussion, this is the consequence that comes from doing this. But a lot of times we see that people who have been involved in it, it gets silenced after a while. You don't really hear that this is what has been done to this person. So over time, it's really, really a big issue. Thank you so much. I'm really hoping that people could, go get this book. It's very important. I'm a Lady Now, Your Passport to Womanhood. Dr. Opeyemi actually opened up on a lot of issues and addressed them as much as she could. I really hope it's very affordable as well, because it's going to young girls. And what's the marketing strategy for this? Do you have it in schools?
Oh, we're planning to put that in schools. Hopefully by next year, we're having a tour. We're going to public schools, and we'll talk to them and also give them a book for each library. And that will be free. But if parents want to get it, it's also available online.
Thank you so much, Dr. Opeyemi.
Thank you for having
Very
me.
insightful book for the young ladies. And just quickly, I'm just going to wrap off on the last, your motto here, which says, we're going through this together and we are coming out stronger as women. Thank you so much, Dr. Opeyemi.